Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Um, this video has been a long time coming, and subhanAllah, I've been very busy the past couple of weeks, and then very sick the past week or two. And alhamdulillah, I feel a little better, so I thought, let's get started. Inshallah, I am going, although it's very late, but because of what's going on in my life. It took us a while to actually come to an end with the past school year, and having to start planning for the new year. It's actually taken us quite some time to get started on this, but alhamdulillah, eventually we're going to start finishing up the year this week and starting the new year, inshallah, also this week. So I thought of making a video about my planner. A lot of people ask me about, do you use an actual planner, like a journal or like an annual yearly planner? I actually, in the very beginning of homeschooling, I used to buy these, ready planners, and it never worked with me. It always felt like this is not exactly what I want, and I would get so excited in the beginning of the school year, but then after that it just doesn't fit me. So I started to make my own. I either, I print out what I make my own sheets, and last year I binded it myself with like coil binding, but this year, so that I can easily and freely add and take out, I used a binder. But either way, I've been for the past couple years using my own planner. I make my own planner, so this and it's been really working great for me, although I'm not set in stone using it day by day, but I try to use it as much as I can and fill out as much as I can as I go through the year. It's been very helpful, especially that it's in a way that really fits me, and I use it as I wish, as opposed to the ready journals. Even the homeschooler journals that are available online by homeschooling moms, I didn't find, at least the ones I used, was still like, oh, no, that's not exactly what I want. So that's why I ended up making my own. And even though the coming year, 2022 to 2023, I decided to go digital, mostly digital, this is still one of my favorites. And I will talk about the digital way later, inshallah, in a separate video. But let me show you. So here I put first a folder to add, like, it had a lot of, like, when I am busy and and it takes me time, I don't have, I usually get to my binder early in the morning in my own time. So I have this, so anything that I need to file in my folder, in my binder, I put it here, and then I file it later in the right spot. And then I have these dividers, and I love these ones with pockets for the same reasons. Like if there is something that I don't have time to bind, like a hole punch in it, or I don't want a hole punch in it, I just put it here in the corresponding section. So the first section is kids year plan. This is the plans that, like, in the beginning of the year, and that's what we're going to be doing this week, inshallah, with each one of them. So it's all about me. We do all about me for all of them. All about me every year. And the year plan. This is the year plan. So for science, like here, this is for Quran, for Arabic, Islamic studies, language arts, math. And I write the curriculum, what we're going to be using, and then the day and time and the duration. Is it going to be for the whole year, for one semester, for 2 semesters? And then this is the evaluation, the last column. That's what I did at the end of the year. We did a good job. We didn't finish it. We didn't do it. We tried it for half a semester, but it didn't work. And here is this. I did this a couple of days ago when I was like reviewing what we've done for the year. And for the new year, I sat with my daughter and I was like, okay, so this is what we did last year. What do you think we continue this year? So this is me brainstorming for the new year. Um, and this is just, I add this as a section for the notes. If I want to add anything um, to the year, to the annual plan or anything else. That's it. So this is for each child. The annual plan, the all about me, I put it here. For the older ones, they actually have all about me, and if you notice, this is a copy because I they have their own, and then I make a copy and I put it in my binder so that I have it in my binder and I look at it as I go. And then the second section is basically just the calendar. I have like a year, a year, the whole year in front of me with the holidays. Um, and then here it's another one uh, right here. And then I have the Hijri one slash Georgian one so that I can know my days and of the weeks. And then I try to add, different, like here, this is my monthly goals. Like I add the evaluation every 3 months, and then here's the Eid, and then here's Ramadan. So I have an idea how my year is going to go, and then I try to do this as well, like month to month, how it's gonna go. Like the September, for example, here's like we start with like 2 week vacation before school vacation, and then we usually start the new year after Labor Day. And that's how, and this is another form. This one is like how my week is going to look, and I add all the online classes so that I know what's going on. And of course, all these change, as we go along. So that's the second section. The third and my favorite section is my family basket. I do this in the beginning of the year. I tell myself, what is it? And I'm going to have a separate video about our family basket. It's my favorite part of our homeschooling. So the family basket is basically, it's a read aloud basket, chosen books that I read aloud to my kids. Along with the read aloud, we have some activities as break activities between books that we read aloud, um, or even light books that we use as break between the actual read aloud books. But I will talk more in details about how I plan my family basket. Family basket is also not only, it's not merely a read aloud, but it's also kind of the family subjects that we study together, among which is very popular in our homeschooling is Islamic studies and Islamic history per se. Like we have most of the Palestine related history that we have discussed in our home. It's based on read aloud readings that we read together. So Arabic books we read aloud. We have a lot of government and civics books that we read together. History, American history, world history, poetry, nature. So all this. So I write the title and the author, the subject, like what is it that I'm covering, Islamic studies or nature or Arabic or math. The topic specifically, let's say it's Islamic history, so that's the subject. The topic would be Palestine, the history of Palestine, for example, and then the rating. So you will see I have the rating is based on, I have this form. After each book we read together, I ask the kids to give it, to rate it, and to write how they liked or didn't like the book. And I average all the rating so that it stays in my record, and I know that this was a good book or a bad book because, I have two groups for family basket. I have the big family basket and the small family basket. The big one for the bigger kids, which the little ones are usually sitting around and taking part with us playing usually, or or having their um, playtime during that time, but they're there and they're listening, but it's not necessarily for them, because it's usually the books are a little bit complicated for the little ones to actually grasp, but they're there and they're listening. My 7-year-old is in between. She's usually part of the older ones group or the younger group. And I have the little family basket for 7 and under. But again, everybody's always welcome. You will be surprised. You will see my older ones sitting and hanging out with us when I'm doing the family basket for the little ones. So anyway, I was doing the rating. I was saying that this will help me later, to use it with, to decide whether should I use it with the younger ones later or not, or just for our own benefit to know, to get an idea about how this book was received by us. So that's what I do. And then the next section is about, what is the second? This is media. So media basically shows or documentary or movies even that we watch together for educational purposes. Uh, and I do the same thing. So I have it listed. I have it listed here. All right. And then I do the same thing right here. I have the name right here. And then each one rates it and gives a very brief description of why they liked or did not like it. And I do the same thing. That's the following section is field trips. I list all the field trips that we've been to, and I too give it a rating paper right here. I write the place, the date, and each one gives me a rating, why or why not they did or they did not like it. And here it says the place, and then here it's the goal, like why did I decide to take them. And sometimes it's as simple as just for entertaining, to get a fresh air, just to play. And then after that, this is my favorite section. This is the self-improvement section, and this is basically about me. The kind of classes, if I've taken any classes, I write it down. If I read any book, I write it down. Even self-paced classes online, I write it down. Things I watch, things I listen to for self-improvement, I write it down and I rate it and I talk about it a little bit. That's it. And then after that, important documentation, and this is basically for the kids, like if they have taken forms and documentation of classes they have taken, whether online or not, certification, anything that is worth keeping, I keep it here. And then the last thing is evaluations and feedback. So this is basically that's what we're going. This is what we did last year. I have a copy in here so that I can look at it, what they said last year about what we did. Right here, this is something I did. It's a form I made. And we're gonna do another one for this past year, so that we can keep in mind their feedback when we're planning the new school year. That's about it. That is my planner. Last year I did the exact same thing, but I binded it. I decided this past year to just do the binder because it was easier for me to take out and put in. But I did like the idea of binding book, so it's like a real planner. But with how much I like this, like I said, I decided that we're going to go digital. And that was a hard decision because I am not into digital as much. I like to keep everything like hard copy, but I had to make that decision for so many reasons this year. We're starting off the year on the wrong foot a little bit because there's so much going on. in our personal life and family life and moving and a lot of things. So we're going to be um, eh, we're going to be limited in so many things that we can do, especially in the first couple of months as the school year starts. So we decided to be as digital as possible so that it will be easier as we're moving around from one place to another, that we can still do school fully without having to be distracted. We're going through moving in the beginning of the year, and also with my father's sickness, we'll be moving between states back and forth. So we decided we want to make it as easy as possible to be able to homeschool regardless of where we are or what is going on around us, especially the first few weeks or even months of school year. So I will let you know once I get it done how my planner is going to look like digitally. I started on it, and it will basically be using Google Forms, and I loved it so far because I like the feature of having, after you fill out the form, everything you can have it all into an Excel file. So that was really neat. I'm still trying to explore it, but so far it's looking good. The kids and I are going to be communicating through Google Classroom, so we're still trying to test things out and see how that's gonna go. But so far, everybody's excited about it, and I will let you know, inshallah, this week as we are wrapping up the last year and starting planning for the new year. I will let you in on everything that we're going to be doing. Hopefully that will benefit a lot of you, inshallah. Okay, that is about it, and I will see you in another video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.